Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host Jeffrey Lazarus, and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls on the Gaming Vector. And as you can see, I am going through and using my soul consumable items. And as soon as we have run through all of these, we're going to go talk to one of the characters that we released in the last episode and use these souls to help give ourselves a little bit more damage going on ahead. Also, as you'll see, I have equipped the Soul of the Moonlight Butterfly. Now, these boss souls can be used to create various weapons and shields later on. However, we do not need the Soul of the Moonlight Butterfly for this character. If you are playing an intelligence-based character, I suggest hanging on to it. Since we are not, I'm going to go ahead and use it to get myself a few extra souls. So now, if we come up around here, we will see Laurentius, the pyromancer that we freed earlier. And we're going to have a conversation with him.
I see you made it out. Yeah, I made it out safely too. I have my pyromancy of the Great Swarm, so I can usually manage with a bit of care. Oh yeah, by the way, I can share my spells with you. I think you have a knack for it. All you need are the materials. I'll be pleased to help you. Unless you find the magic's unsavory.
Now, a bit of confusion here sometimes for a lot of players. The question he is asking, and the question we are answering is whether or not we find pyromancy unsavory. So if you want him to teach you, you say no.
Yeah, wonderful. I'm sure that they'll be of some use, some assistance. Why, let's get started right now.
So as you can see, he has a lot of the same options as a lot of the other merchants, but what he can actually do is upgrade our pyromancy flame. So we are going to get this upgraded as high as we can, and what this will do is it will allow all of our pyromancies to do more damage. Now, to get the pyromancer's flame all the way from the starting point up to its maximum level requires approximately the same number of souls as it takes to gain, I think, 55 levels starting from level 1, so it is very, very expensive in the long run. However, the pyromancies can do a lot of damage when properly leveled up. We will also look at what items he has, and he's got a few spells. So he has Fire Orb, which is an upgraded version of the Fireball we already have. He has Combustion, which is very handy. It's a melee range ability, so I'm going to go ahead and purchase that. He has Iron Flesh, which will allow you to basically take a lot more damage. However, the problem with Iron Flesh is you also move very slowly. Flash Sweat allows you to take less damage from fire attacks. And then he has the basic Fireball as well. So that's pretty much all we need from him at this point.
Come back if you find anything new.
And now we're going to head over to the bonfire and see about possibly leveling up so that we can use Combustion. Oh, actually I can use Combustion right now. I actually do not need to level up. So instead I will put that point into Endurance. And now we will attune magic, and we are going to add Combustion into our second slot here. Now, we have a couple of choices of where to go, but the typical thing that I will do right now to make the next area easier, if you remember we're actually skipping over the depths, but the next thing that I would typically do is head back to an area we were at earlier. However, before we do that, as you can see, Petrus up here has had some friends show up.
Oh, hello. My guests have finally arrived. I will be departing with them shortly. So, I'm afraid I will be saying goodbye soon. It was a pleasure.
And we can go over and talk to his friends as well.
What have we here? You look awfully raggedy. Times are grim. The least you can do is look sharp. Don't you dare meet my lady like that. You might scare her off for good.
You are undead as well? Then we've no time to fraternize. I have my mission and you no doubt have yours. We must not let this curse overcome us.
And of course we can talk to them some more to get some exposition, but basically the idea is these guys are gathering up here and they're going to be heading through the graveyard and into the catacombs later on because their mission is to obtain an item that is down there that we'll talk about a bit more when we actually head down there to try and retrieve it ourselves. But what I'm going to want to do right now is head up this elevator. And we're actually going to be heading back to the Undead Asylum. So if you remember, the last time we came up here, we grabbed a key to another section of the asylum. Well, now we're actually going to make our way back there. So we're just going to head up these steps and make our way around this building up to the top, or the ruins of the building, I suppose. And once we get up here, we're going to find a crow's nest. And we have the option to curl up into a ball, so we will do so. And then we're just going to wait for, I want to say it's about 30 seconds or so, and we'll be taken back to the asylum. Now, the asylum is going to be different on our return trip. So we are going to want to be careful because there will be some more difficult enemies there this time. But there's specifically 3 items I want to get my hands on, a 4th that I would like to, although that will also require beating the new boss of the asylum, and we'll see if I can pull that off. I'll try it a couple of times, but I usually have a lot of trouble with him, and I'll explain why when we actually get there. So as you can see, we're being carried back by the crow or the raven to the asylum. I believe it's supposed to be a crow. And he will actually drop us off at the same point where we left the asylum at the top of the hill. So as soon as we get through this loading screen, we will almost immediately be able to see what has changed. And as you can see, if you look down the hill, we now have torch hollows waiting outside the door. There's about half a dozen of these guys, so we just want to take our time and try and cut our way through them without getting hit by that. You just saw that second one that came at me. He ran up at me swinging the torch. We don't want to get hit by that attack because that'll do a lot of damage. Okay. And just die. So I think I said there was just about half a dozen. I guess there's only actually 4 of them. I always thought there was more than that. Now, as we head back into this room, we're going to want to do one very specific thing, and that is not step in the middle of the floor, at least not yet. Now, we are going to dip over here and grab the bonfire, so that now if something does happen, we will spawn back in the asylum and not all the way back at Firelink and have to make that climb again. Now we're going to head back up into this main room. Actually, before we do that, if we were to go the typical way that we went the last time we were here, we would go up this hallway. As you can see, almost barely, there is a Silver Knight waiting up there. It's very similar to the Black Knights. Now, we will encounter one of those here in a little bit that I will have to get through, but that one you can actually circumvent by simply going the other direction. So we don't actually have to fight him, although you do have the possibility of getting his weapon or his... I think you can get their shield as a drop as well. So if I have good luck with the one that I have to go through, I may go back and fight that one. Now, what we're actually going to do is head over to this bonfire. Didn't really need to rest up there. Not quite sure why I did. And then we're going to walk to the wrong side of the room. That's very important. We're going to go over here, and we're going to go up where we got our Estus flask. Now, one thing to note, the trap at the top of the steps has reset, so we want to stay off of those steps. But up here, and I like to move out into this center area, we should find Oscar has gone hollow. And we want to take him out. Oh, boy. And he is not an easy foe. However, I have fireballs, Oscar. Oh, that did a lot of damage. Uh-oh. Oh, don't get backed into the corner. Keep our shield up. He is getting damaged through. Let's say, if we can take him out from a distance, that is the other thing. He also has to slow roll. And what this will give us is the crest shield. Now, if I remember correctly, the crest shield has similar stats to the Dragon Crest shield that we've been using. However, it has higher magical defense with lower fire resistance. Overall, a better shield unless you are specifically worried about fire damage. So we're actually going to swap out to that shield. I like the I like the look of it. Can't really see it here in the dark, but it's a decent looking shield. Now we're going to head back down to the bonfire. Wait, actually, no, we're not going to head back to the bonfire yet. We're going to head up here, trigger the trap. Almost die because of it. Oh boy. Alright. So we'll go ahead and use an Estus. We do still have 8 Estus flasks, so I'm not too worried. And up here is not all that different than it was the first time through. It's still very much the same set of enemies. However, we will find that in the room where basically we were taught how to parry attacks, or where you're supposed to learn how to parry attacks, there will be an extra enemy, but if you remember, there was also a door in that room that we could not open. Now, we can. Also, it's a little disconcerting that I'm not taking these guys out in one shot. So here we're going to aggro the first guy. Oh, fail with the parry. Oh, just back off. I'm just spamming the button now. That was real dumb. Alright, you know what? We still have fireballs. Come at me, bro. How's that for you? Alright, now we have one more guy to deal with, and he's got the spear. So we're just going to want to kick to break his block. And then cut him down. And now, we will actually be able to open this door. And as we come through here, we will find an item that we could not retrieve earlier. The Rusted Iron Ring. And what the Rusted Iron Ring does... Do I really have no rings equipped? Wow. Alright, let's go ahead and get these put on then. The Rusted Iron Ring improves balance on poor footing. So I will actually be able to demonstrate that to you momentarily once we get back down to where we need to go. So we're going to head back down the stairs now. That's literally the only thing that that key and that door is used for, is to get that particular ring. 7 Estus flasks. Probably shouldn't have rested because I forgot that bonfire is not kindled. But we're going to actually make our way back towards our cell, where we initially started the game. Now, what you're going to notice here... Okay, so here we're in deep water, and we have normal movement, as you can see. If we go in and remove the iron ring, now we no longer have normal movement. That is essentially what that ring is used for. I'm going to keep it equipped for the time being that I don't have any other rings that are really useful. But if that gives you any kind of idea of where we're going to be heading next, because that's the main reason I came back here, was to get the rusted iron ring. It's very helpful for the next area. Now, up ahead, on the way to our cell, we're going to find a Black Knight. And this could very easily result in our death. So I'm going to try and take him down this first time. He is a sword-wielding knight as well. Great sword at that. Oh, and he shield bashed me. Oh, there's the parry. Riposte. Not too shabby. Stay locked on and just try and continue to parry his attacks. I don't want to say I'm having good luck against him, but I'm actually having good luck against him. And that one should... Nope, that one didn't kill him. 4 parries to take down a Black Knight. I am not confident in my strength at this point. I should be stronger than that. Oh, and we got the Black Knight sword and a red Titanite chunk. So the Black Knight sword is actually a really fantastic quality weapon. Down here in our cell, we will find the Peculiar Doll, which is a key to an area much, much later on. But the Black Knight sword, I believe it's a quality weapon. You can see it's got really good... wow. It's got really good strength scaling. It's got some dexterity scaling, and it requires 20 and 18 strength and dexterity in order to wield it. And it does a ton of physical damage. Like, probably more physical damage than any weapon I have right now, including my upgraded Uchi Katana. Let's see here. Just tabbing through very quickly. Yeah, definitely the strongest weapon we have. However, we don't have the stats to use it. That's okay. I don't believe we will be using it on this playthrough. I intend on focusing mostly on dexterity. But if you get the dexterity to use it and then pump up the strength, it is a highly, highly damaging weapon. So, next thing on our agenda is to basically try and get out of here, but before we do that, we still have the time. I believe I will make a couple of attempts at the boss. So we're actually going to run over to the other bonfire so that I can do this. And there you might have, if you were listening close, you might have just heard the boss actually growling as we came through the door. He is right here. He is very nearby. Get yourself wrecked. So we're going to head over to the other bonfire. We'll take a little rest over here. See if we have the souls to level up. We do not. Okay, well, I'm going to go... let's see here. I can't remember how many souls these hollows give. Also, I completely forgot to lock on. Oh, yeah. Okay, so by killing these guys, I'll have enough to level up. And then, that way, when the boss kills me, because he most likely will, I won't have to worry about losing all of those souls. So let's go ahead and pump another point into dexterity. It gets us up to 18. We are level 27 currently. And yeah, pretty much the next thing to do is to go and challenge the boss. Now, I'm going to come at it from this direction, and you'll see why I said not to step in the middle of the floor, and also why I usually die to this boss. Because you take about half your health in fall damage on the way down. Oh, okay. So we've gotten around behind him. That is a good thing. You'll see he brings his staff up and slams it down with an AoE attack. Oh boy. Yeah, and we're not doing near enough damage, so this is either going to be a really long fight, or a really short one. Holy crap. Alright, oh boy, there's the other AoE attack. Luckily I managed to block most of the damage from it. There's his flying attack. Just kind of roll around behind him. Trying my best to get behind this boss. Stay at about the end of his tail. And then when that AoE clears, rush in and hack away. And then get back again. I didn't get back far enough. Now you may think, oh, this guy looks just like the Asylum Demon, just with some new attacks. And that's not entirely false, but he is also stronger than the Asylum Demon in more ways than just that. Also, you can see if you look in the corner, I forgot to turn my notifications off. Well, we will fix that in the next episode. For now, you may have to deal with my friends popping online. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, so you just want to get up behind him and try and hit him. If you're using the Uchigatana or any other weapon that does bleed damage, you want to try and get in 3 strikes and then back off. Let's let our stamina get back up. We're actually not doing too bad here. Oh boy, that's... No, I got out of the way of it. Fantastic. Oh, there we managed to bleed him again. Let's just back off, circle around. We do still have our fireballs as well, so if worse comes to worse, I can pull those out. Oh, and he... Oh, damn it, I got hit by the shockwave. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, boy. Don't kill me, bro. Come on. Okay, good. I got my shield back up in time. Oh, Jesus. Oh! Man. Apparently, I'm just going to die at least once to almost every boss on this playthrough. I almost had him taken out, too. Now, a lot of you may be saying, oh, well, if you're new to the game, you may be saying, well, why don't you get the floor to collapse, you know, through other means? Which you could technically do. You could step on it and then roll back, and then, you know, pelt him from above with fireballs or something like that. Unfortunately, you can't do any damage to him that way, or at least that's what I've heard. I've never actually tried it. Alright, so luckily we haven't lost anything. I think we will take a few more stabs at this boss. And hopefully this episode will end with me downing him. So just trying to get around behind him again and instantly killed. Wow. See, that's the problem with this boss, is you lose about half of your health just from the fall. The boss itself, not all that difficult, really. Like, once you get in close, as you probably noticed in the first fight, once you actually get in close, he's not that difficult to do damage to, because his attacks are fairly predictable. The problem is, when you first get down there, you can, you know, very easily get one shot. You can see I died so quick, my bloodstain's still up here. That is fantastic. Let's see. Oh, well, let's just go ahead and... No, Mr. Hollow. Why? Oh, balls. Yep, one shot again. Yeah. Okay, so game plan time. I will make one more attempt at this boss, and if I fail, mainly because I don't feel like doing a whole ton of editing on the end of this video, if I fail, we'll just go ahead and leave, and we'll come back later and take him down when I'm stronger. Because right now, I'm not really doing as much damage to him as I would like to be doing. Spam the roll button. Come on. Don't you... Oh my god. I survived it. I'm gonna die in about 3 seconds, but I survived the AoE attack. Oh, maybe not. He went for the jump. Alright, cool. We may have a chance here. I wouldn't bet on it, but we may have a chance. So, put a fireball up his butt. Wow, that didn't really... Well, I guess it did about as much damage as I'm doing with the katana, I suppose, so... Oh, that's probably going to hit. No, that actually didn't. I got out of the range of it. Like, just... Okay, cool. Yeah, the fireballs are not as effective as I had hoped they would be. So we're going to back off, circle around. Quit turning, you dingus. Oh, well, that was real bad. Oh, jeez. Alright, here comes the AoE attack again. We're going to step back, use this opportunity to heal, even though we're running extremely low on Estus. Roll out of the way. And if we can just two-hand our weapon and avoid his attacks, we might be okay. Say the alternative to trying to get behind him is to get directly in front of him, because he will tend to go for that jumping attack a whole lot. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Block it. There we are. Okay, we're doing better. Just go ahead and do your attack, and then let me run in and slash your butt. Oh, wow. I couldn't do anything about that. Okay, so he's going to go for that slam attack, which means I have a chance to heal up. Now let's hopefully get back around behind him. Okay, he's going back for that. So now we will just slash him in the butt. Bring our shield up and get out of the way of that. Can we finish him off? That is the question. I always have trouble with this guy. Oh boy, I'm overzealous with my attacks. Alright, let's just back up. See if we can't heal. Okay, there's an opportunity to rush him. Let's get in there and cut his ass down. Yes! So we dropped the Asylum Demon. Or the Stray Demon. As you can see, we get a Humanity, a Homeward Bone, and we get a Titanite Slab. Titanite Slab, incredibly important item. Because what that will actually allow us to do is, through normal weapon reinforcement... Oh, we also got a bunch of souls for that. Through normal weapon reinforcement, you can get your weapon up to plus 14. And then you can use a Titanite Slab to make it plus 15. Also, you can see this actually drops us off right next to where that Black Knight was earlier. So now, we can actually leave the Asylum. And in the next episode, we are going to make our way to one of the... I would have to say it's probably one of my least favorite areas in the game as a whole. However, knowing how to skip most of it is very, very helpful. Oh. Wow. There we are. Yeah, the next area we're heading to, one of my least favorite areas in the game. I won't say my least. There is probably one, maybe two areas that trump it, and as far as just how much I dislike the place. But what we're actually going to do here is we're going to rest up. We're going to hang on to our souls so that we can upgrade our Pyromancy Flame further. And we are going to go back up to the top of the hill after we cut our way through these guys. Well, alright, can I just run? I think I can just run. Let's see if the... Oh, wait, I have to curl up in a ball in the nest again, don't I? And these guys are probably hot on my tail. They're actually pretty far back there. Alright, let's kill them. I can use the extra souls, even though it's not really much. You get, what, 100 per kill? Yeah. Oh! Helps if you actually kill them. There we go. Alright. So what we'll actually do now is we will go back up to the nest, curl up like a ball, and we will be transported back to Firelink Shrine, and once there, we will start making our way towards the infamous and dreaded Blight Town. As I said earlier, one of my least favorite areas in this game. But I do believe that will do it for this episode of Let's Play Dark Souls. I have been your host, Jeffrey Lazarus, and thank you for watching.